Namaste, my beautiful collective. I am doing a reading that's completely different from what I typically do. And I'm excited about it because I've been playing around with these cards, which is actually a game. But I've been having a lot of downloads about the world, and I do watch a lot of, different videos, reaction videos, and stuff like that kind of show different conspiracies. And some of them, I believe in absolutely. Some of them I think are a complete distraction. But I thought it would be fun to shuffle these Illuminati cards and get a read on what's going on for the rest of the year. So we're going to start with August. We're halfway through it, but I'm still going to pull like 4 or 5 cards for each month. And then we'll do a big pull at the end, okay? See what we come up with. Angel Spirit Guides. Tell us what to expect in the month of August. And if you like this channel, please like, share, subscribe. Also, come back later to see if these actually came into fruition. I'm getting for some reason. So look back, see if anything you can connect it with. And I'm going to try to connect it with the downloads and the information I get for the world. All right, let's cut the deck. All right, so August. What do we get for August? We have something about the Pentagon. So there could be something happening at the Pentagon in August. We still get about 11 days. Well, no, more than that. Got about 13 days left to August. So something with the Pentagon in August. Cable companies. There could be something shocking, like either them merging. I get some kind of a monopoly, or somebody gets bought out by another company that's not doing that good. Because I would think cable companies now, with all the streaming services, could kind of go away at some point. And then we have Deep Agent. So there's some kind of a deep agent. Maybe we'll find something out. Maybe this is all tied together. Let's do 3 more. Orbital mind control lasers. Could have something to do with maybe this technology, like we already think, or they're already saying that, sorry, that's my dog, that, these devices that we have, whether it be a cable box, the speakers, like, all the different ones, I'm not going to name them, but that we can buy, the smart speakers, the cameras, all that stuff is all tied together, and they could be watching us. Maybe the Pentagon, I don't know, but something like that. Alien abductors. Could hear about an abduction. And some kind of a time warp, which I feel like there is a time warp, because they say it in the news. So I kind of believe in this, that they're saying the days are going by, it's just a few seconds faster. But I think because of that, it might feel like they're flying by. And that's how I've been feeling. Like the days have been flying by, for me anyway. I'm already on my 3rd day of vacation, and I feel like I just said, I signed off on my computer for work. And I'm already on my 3rd day of vacation, and it's like, how did it go by that fast already? Time seems to fly. So let's get some dice for that. And I got 2 and 2, so it could be something on the 22nd, because it's August. Interesting. All right, so let's do September. September. And I just bought this deck. It's a game. I have like a bunch of games I keep in my one of my drawers in my dining room that, if my family comes over on a holiday or something, and, in between dinner and dessert, we play a few games, or after dessert, we play a few games. And it's fun. And it just kind of it relaxes you. And sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Depends on the holiday and what's going on and who's here. It's usually here. But sometimes we'll play games and we'll laugh hysterically. It'll be just a lot of fun. And other times it's just that we don't play them. But it's always good to have a few, So let's shuffle these like one more time. Get off subject here. That one came out, so I'm going to flip that over. That's health food stores. Oh, so there could be something in September about health food stores. I'm going to cut the deck. What else do we have here? Republicans again. That card keeps coming out. So something about Republicans. And I don't affiliate myself with any party. I'm pretty much an independent person. And I don't really I don't like politics. I absolutely can't stand them. Because honestly, for me, and it's just in my opinion, they're all, even if some of them do good, 90% of them, they're full of shit. Excuse my language, but they are. They're all out for themselves to make money, what their ideas are, and it's like, I don't feel like it's fair for the entire world to have decisions made based on few people, especially as large as the world is now. And I don't think the voting system is structured correctly. I think it should be differently the way it's set up. And anything major, when it has to do, especially with when we pay tax dollars, and we're having to pay for different things that they decide we're going to pay for, I think that if it's some kind of infrastructure like bridges, roads, stuff like that, that like it should go maybe by the state because they know what they're dealing with. But when it comes to other stuff, like, in the world, I feel like everybody should like have like any bill that goes by, I feel like should be, it might be a little annoying, but anything that they try to fund that they're taking away from us, we should have a chance to vote on, all of us, no matter where you are. Or then they shouldn't be you know what I mean? It should be like a smaller amount of taxes, or the taxes should come out at certain times of the year instead of the way they have it set up. The setup of the program that they have is horrendous. And if you're an everyday working person, you get scammed every single way possible. You get taxed on, and I live in a state that there's no state income tax. But there's property tax, there's restaurant tax, there's tax on your car, your vehicle, there's tax on when you sell a house, when you buy a house. There's taxes on everything, inheritance tax. There's so many taxes. We're taxed every way possible. We're scammed every way possible, so I feel like there could be a better setup. Let's keep going for September. I'm going off on my own tangent. Senate Investigating Committee. So see, there's something going on here with that. And I get something about, it could be something about health food stores that could be scrutinized by some kind of, or an investigation about something. Anti-nuclear activists. So there could be some kind of protests with that kind of theme going on in September. The United Nations coming up. Another theme that could be happening in September. And then we got something in the tabloids. Maybe it could be something with aliens or something like that. And there's a lot of investigations that go on. Somebody's going to be in trouble in some way. Let's get the dice going here. So we get the Illuminati symbol, so something definitely going to happen. And that landed on the United Nations in 2. Maybe they're connected. Wouldn't surprise me. Interesting. So around, I think, September 2nd. Let's do October. October. Interesting. It's kind of fun. I've been a psychic for pretty much my whole life, but I started really delving into it about I'm going to say 40 years ago. And I really started doing stuff with it within the last 25, 30 years. Let's keep going. October. Okay, we have Murphy's Law. So anything that could go wrong will go wrong. So something about October. And Murphy's Law happening in some way. So, maybe a lot of different events that aren't good. Libertarians. Cable companies. And I don't know if we had this before, in August. So something about cable companies. Something about the Bermuda Triangle. Which right now we have Hurricane Erin going up the coast. But that's October, so maybe there'll be another hurricane around then. The network. So I feel like it has something to do with these cable companies here. Some kind of uncovering. And the post office. Something urgent with the post office. I don't know, maybe we'll finally get those rebate checks or whatever, stimulus, or there could be some kind of notification coming through, or maybe something about the post office. It's very urgent. And we get 25, so around October 25th or the 7th. Let's do November and this. We'll do November. So it's interesting what's coming out. Makes you think. Now, I really haven't gone through every single card in this deck, but I do see some things tying in. November. Let's go November for the world. Now, I'm based in the U.S., but this could be happening anywhere in the world. And that card came out. Gun lobby. So something about gun lobbying or something about guns in November. Again, with the United Nations. Interesting. Again, with slush fund. And there's a lot of cards in this deck. So what I'm going to do right now is cut them. Because these cards keep coming out. So it's something very prevalent coming. Swiss bank accounts. I feel like this is all going to tie in together somehow. Health food stores again. So maybe something about some kind of health food that's actually not good for us. But we've been scammed into believing. Something about money, some kind of gun lobbying, the United Nations, the slush fund, the Swiss bank account. Tobacco and liquor companies. Interesting. So we're going to find something out, some kind of situation going on. With some, I get fraudulent activity. And we got 4 and 6 is 10, so something around November 10th. Let's do December. Got the deck, December. I have alien abductors. So this could be some kind of news. On the news, I think that they said, and I've heard different like TikTok videos and YouTube videos where they've been in those, the reaction ones, saying that UFOs were either coming in September or November, that this is December. So maybe there'll be some kind of abduction, or they're going to make us think that with big media. Like a Project Bluebeam type thing. This could be anywhere. The Gnomes of Zurich. So something in Switzerland. It could be something about CERN. I don't know exactly what that is. But I feel like it's got something to do with Switzerland. And I feel like it's got something to do with CERN. And maybe it all ties in together again. California, which I live on the opposite coast. I know it's a really beautiful state in some ways, but I think it's being run into the ground right now. It has horrible infrastructure, horrible government, and it's just falling apart. And my friends that are out there, I have friends, and I actually have a little bit of, my ex-husband lives out there. I don't talk to him. But I have some friends that live out there, and they say it's horrible. It's horrible out there. There's beautiful places out there, and it's a shame because it's such a large state. So I think we're going to hear some things about that. Could be something about a weather issue because we get the waves here and stuff. Something about California going on. Some kind of an assassination again in December, or an assassination attempt. Maybe it happens in California. And something to do with the mafia. Let's do that for December. We got the Illuminati thing that landed on big media, which we know. And number 5, so around December 5th. All right, now we're just going to do a major pull here for the end of this. See if we come up with anything. pretty interesting. And I want to see, like, what actually happened. So I'm gonna check back on this, like, in September, to see if anything with August came through and keep notes on it. And I'm gonna do it every month until the end of the year. And see if these actually tie in. I mean, me being psychic, I'm sure that I know myself and I know when I read cards, and I'm sorry about that. I know myself when I read cards, a lot of accuracies come out that I see sometimes later on, or I hear from my clients that watch my videos or stuff like that. So I have to wonder how these cards are going to work. All right, so let's see. We have the Mafia again. We have Malicious. The Discordian Society. Excuse my dog. Boy Sprouts. Maybe something about this group that's going to come out that's not going to be really good. Let's see. White collar crime, which is everyday thing, pretty much every second thing, at least here in the United States. The UFOs, again. Let's move these up, because I want to pull a bunch, and then we'll finish up. Cosplayers. That's an unusual one. But yeah, maybe something with that, or something about cosplaying that's going to cause an issue. The FBI. It's right under white collar crimes. New York. There's something about New York coming up. Got that gun lobby card again. I'm going to kind of move these up. I'm trying to get something that really hits home. Deep Agent, again. We had that before, I believe. Parent-teacher agglomeration. Something about schooling. Maybe it's got something to do in New York. If you look, there's an apple here. New York is the Big Apple. You see there's like some kind of a weird worm thing coming out of it. It's strange. But whatever it is, it's got to do with New York. Let's pull 3 more. High fashion, which usually is really bizarre. Especially some of those fashion shows. Murphy's Law, again, anything that could go wrong will go wrong. Slush fund again, so I'm going to keep pulling here. United Nations again. Local police departments again. Goldfish fanciers, I don't know what that's about, that's bizarre. Local police departments, there could be something with local police departments. Psycho gangs. Convenience stores. Libertarians again. Let's do 3 more and then we're going to end. Fiendish fluoriders. They always talk about the fluoride being put in our water and issues with that. Maybe something will come up on the news about that. The CIA again. And science fiction fans. You see the alien? I feel like that ties into the UFOs. And something about New York. So I hope you enjoyed this. It was fun for me. If you did so, please like, share, subscribe. Sending love and blessings to you.